So I played Destiny 1 yet again in 2023 and was instantly reminded of what a great game this was. As soon as the menu turned on, that start music just brought on the most insane sense of nostalgia and honestly, a sense of sadness and bittersweetness. In this video today, I'll talk about how the game has held up. I played quite a bit of PvE, some PvP, and you really can still play Destiny 1 in 2023 and soon to be 2024. And the reason being is a lot of Destiny 2 players have actually come back to re-experience Destiny 1, and we'll talk about that. Not everything has aged all that gracefully. As I mentioned, there was a sense of sadness and bittersweetness the entire time I was playing this game. If you've been around the channel for a while, you know I loved Destiny 1. We ran a Destiny news podcast called Destiny the Show with my good friend Diddy for many years, made tons of great friends, and I've never felt the sense of community in a game like I have with Destiny. And part of that sadness is I just don't get to play with those players very much anymore. We've all grown up, we've moved on, we're playing different games, but part of that sadness is also for what Destiny has really turned into these days, and I really feel bad for all of the developers and team members who recently lost their jobs in the layoffs over at Bungie. It's really a disappointing thing to see. And any live service game bounces from highs to lows very quickly. I just hope the best for this franchise. Jumping back in time, Destiny 1 really was magic. Visually speaking, you can compare many of the areas that are in both Destiny 2 to Destiny 1. I think Destiny 1 kind of wins out, especially Cosmodrome. It is insane the level of detail Bungie was able to cram into this game. Remember, this is a title that not only came out on Xbox One and PlayStation 4, but on the 360 and on the PS3. The art direction just shines through even to this day. Yeah, it's a really tight FOV, and yeah, it's 30 FPS. But if you just look in the visuals of the video today, you tell me if you're a regular Destiny 2 player, how does it compare? How does it stack up? Because for me, I put a ton of time into Destiny 2, and I understand they've had to make changes to improve the engine and make improvements across the board, but I prefer the visuals almost all the time in Destiny 1. Part of that is the art direction, so we'll just chalk it up right there. Speaking of the gameplay, if you go back and you are playing Destiny 1 in 2023, you'll be happy to know in the tower there are still players, and a few LFG groups are active on Discord to this day. The music is super memorable, it added to the overall nostalgic experience, and getting to go back and play some of the featured strikes was just, so choice. I immediately noticed too, the challenge of the strike was very different from that of Destiny 2. Just playing in the actual strike rotational playlist, there was a sense of struggle, of urgency against some of these bosses. I do think that strikes is the one area that Destiny just has nailed to where no other FPS game can touch it. We play a lot of Halo here on the channel, and the PvE side of Firefight, it's pretty fun. But whatever Bungie was able to do with the magic behind their systems, right? The invisible goodness, the greatness of what they do, shooting mobs of enemies in Destiny feels better than any other PvE shooter I've ever tried. The responsiveness of the enemies, the different types of enemies, how the kit and the sandbox come together to just really make this unbelievably good soup of fun. What also really stands out to me is just how mysterious and intriguing the world of Destiny 1 actually feels. So many play spaces just feel like they're straight out of a horror game, and there was so much unknown, so much about the intangible in Destiny 1 that Destiny 2 was just never able to capture for me. Now let's pivot here for just a second. You can't only talk about Destiny 1 with the rose-tinted glasses. I was there in the trenches every week, and it was not great all of the time. There were so many shortcomings, so many content droughts, so many silly systems that just didn't make sense, horrible connectivity on the PvP side. So let's not kid ourselves. Destiny 2 made major strides and really pushed the game forward on the live service aspects. At the same time too, with that trade-off comes the huge ever-versing of the game, right? The complete change of the monetization style of the game. And now at this point, everything is just another meaningless grind, it feels like in D2. In some strange world, if we ever do see a Destiny 3 or whatever comes after this next phase of the final shape, I hope we get a combination of Destiny 1 and Destiny 2. The quality of life improvements and honestly the agility that they've been able to make changes with Destiny 2 along with the world building, art style, the mysterious nature, and the challenge of Destiny 1, would be almost perfect in my book. I had such a good time playing Destiny 1 for this video that I actually really want to message my old crew of players, the Pineapple Boys, dust off the Xbox Ones and see if they'd be up to run some raids. I don't know if I can convince them of that, but it really was that enjoyable. It's really hard, though, to see myself playing Destiny 1 regularly again. I could potentially see running a fresh character through the experience once more, but it's just missing that sense of community that it once had. And honestly, like I said, some of the rougher edges of the game, the quality of life improvements we've all come to expect from Destiny 2 over the years aren't present in D1, are just a little too much to keep me from going back and playing it. Yeah, nostalgia's strong, but not necessarily that strong. As mentioned earlier, it's so hard with a live service game to keep good updates flowing time and time again. The pendulum flows quickly. You can go from a great expansion to a terrible content drought, all within the space of just a few months. From a champion to an absolute villain, studios have a hard time managing that consistency. D1 was a culprit of this, but I think what got the scene through the content droughts, the smaller expansions, and the time periods with just nothing to do was the community. Destiny 1 had a strong and passionate community that was dedicated to the game. They created so much content around the gear within the game, creative ways to play, silly things to do within the raids, and that is what carried me forward. That's what it was so fun. I never was able to really latch into that with Destiny 2 in the same way. There were really big high points in Destiny 2 for me, but I kind of fell off after Beyond Light, and I've had a hard time kind of getting back on that train. But playing this game again, I was genuinely impressed. Bungie's gameplay design, how good their gunplay feels, and the visual, synthesis with the music, it's on another level, even to this day. So I would absolutely encourage you, if you've got an afternoon available, go boot this game back up. I would kill for a PC port. FOV, higher frame rates, of course, it'd be lovely. But go give it a shot. Play some PvP, some PvE. It is a good time. I'm not sure I'm ready to completely hop back in on the adventure, but it was a great reminder of an incredible game that really has turned into something that's quite the big franchise now. I do feel like Bungie has a really hard task in front of them, re-earning players' trust, and then also highlighting what is next for Destiny as a game. If you enjoyed the video, let me know, and if you want to see more, also shout out down in the comments below. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, follow me over on Twitter. I hope you're having a great day. We'll see you again in the next video.